Yeah. Hello. Hi, guys. Yes, you're welcome to today's live session. So, guys, we are still on this topic about the CSU certificate forgery saga. It wasn't clear to most Nigerians why the president wasn't able to meet President Biden of the United States, not until now that David Hunde has come out to make this strong exposure. As in, he has come out to tell Nigerians why the president of Nigeria was denied that opportunity to see the president of the United States of America. We all know that the bragging that he was going to see Joe Biden, they were going to meet and all that, not knowing that even after the meeting was scheduled, it appears people now went to spoil things for the president of Nigeria. From the look of things and from the revelation you are going to get from David Hunde, Joe Biden was told that it wasn't really ripe for him to start mingling with this person because so much is yet to be unfolded about him. And that was what led to them denying him that opportunity to meet the president of America. This thing happened even before the CSU released the certificates that they released. So you can imagine that Nigeria was already suffering as a country even before this certificate saga was made open, was unfolded. So Joe Biden was supposed to meet him, but he was denied that opportunity, not knowing that something was already fishy. So I'm going to be playing this video. Listen to what David Hunde got to say. Don't forget that this administration is already moving against media houses. They've called Arise TV, they've given them warning to be very careful on the kind of people they bring to their platform and the kind of languages they come there to use. You can imagine this is one of the things we suffered during the time of Buhari. And now this administration is trying to adopt the same method that Buhari used during his time to stop people from, criticizing him or even calling him to order. Because when I say criticize, I see people are just talking, out of sense. But each time you call this government, I mean the government of Buhari, to order, they will even start giving media houses fine. And that is the method they are trying to use now. But I tell you, there is a lot to uncover in this CSU certificate of a thing. And also the former Attorney General of come out to make a shocking revelation. So Dr. Ete is going to be analyzing that for us to understand everything he said. But for now, let me allow you to listen to what David Hunde said that led to President Tinubu not giving the opportunity to meet with Joe Biden during the UN assembly that they had recently. So let me play this video for you guys so that you take a look and get to understand the implication of having the wrong person in such a sensitive position as that of the presidency in our country. Just take a look at
when you are
this.
forging a Chicago State University certificate, you are bringing the US into it. Where you have an FBI file with a total of 70,107 pages, the US has been brought into it. In fact, I was reliably informed that at the last UN General Assembly, after so much noise that they made about Tinubu supposedly having an exclusive sideline meeting with Joe Biden, the US president, the reason that meeting did not eventually happen was because Joe Biden was briefed that there is some information which is about to emerge about this guy. And if you allow yourself to be pictured with him or to posture yourself in any way that looks like you are aligning yourself with him, your political enemies are going to have you for lunch, right? And it's going to affect your re-election chances. And that's how come that meeting, which they spent weeks crowing about, didn't come close to happening. In fact, it was so bad that I think it was on a Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday during the UN General Assembly, that Tinubu and Biden were in the same building at the same time. I think Biden had given a speech. And his aides were trying desperately to book some kind of appointment or meeting with Biden, and Biden's people knocked them back. They don't want to be seen within a country mile of the guy now. It's like the guy has feces rubbed all over his body now. Nobody wants to be seen with him. Nobody wants to be near him. Both in the US, in the international space in general, his brand is toxic now, and it's only going to get worse. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he only has himself to blame for all of this. I think I said it long before the election that if he wasn't such a hubristic person who genuinely believes that everybody else is stupid except him, he would never have run for election in the first place. He would have just sat down in Bodilon and been, a kingmaker the way he had been for years, and he would have been okay with that role. But I mean, he decided to bring it. He decided to take it here. He decided to put himself out into the public space. So whatever happens to him now, it is not doing.
What was presented as the
So Doc, you have to come in at this point before we go ahead with this video.
Okay, let me start by first of all greeting Nigerians wherever you are and saying I hope you're having a good time this evening for our normal evening hangout. All right. That word brand is toxic. Do you know what it means? I know what it means. When they say that a brand is toxic, it means that it is existing, but it is something nobody wants to identify with, because if you identify with it, it pollutes you. And it doesn't just pollute you, it pollutes you in a bad way. And from an analyst's point of view, I will buy into David Hunde's logic. Because remember that we were told by FBI that until 2026, we're not going to hear anything. I know you might say, oh, the rule of law works there, that David Hunde's lawyer went back after he became a president. Good. The time that 2026 information came out, the Presidential Elections Petitions Court was already sitting, and he had already become president. There's a whole lot of legal legwork that could be done and technicalities deployed that could make it impossible for FBI, IRS, DEA, all of them, all those Homeland Security, all of them, all of a sudden. Do you know that these whole bodies that came together and called David Hunde's lawyer and say, fine, we're okay now, we're going to release these documents to you. They are like all the fingers that the US government used to scoop information, analyze information. As long as America is concerned in the country, IRS deals with employment, taxation, tax evasion, and what have you. Homeland Security does with everything that has to do with security, who is a threat to us, who is planning to bomb us, and what have you within America, and also things that has to do with immigration, who entered legally and illegally, as the case may be. Of course, we know what the FBI does. They are the chief in investigating everything, both criminal and civil. And according to what you hear, David Hunde is over 70,000 pages from the FBI alone. Do you necessarily think that the US government is not interested in helping we Nigerians? And those bodies came together they could appeal. They could appeal if the court gave ruling. They could appeal and delay it. But the moment the judge gave a ruling in favor of David Hunde, they called David Hunde and said, we are doing it. And FBI specifically said that out of these 70 pages, 2,500 pages may be relevant to what he's looking for. Did you hear that? FBI analyzed over 70,000 pages and said to David, 2,500 pages may be relevant to what he's looking for. And that they will be releasing 500 every month. Now, you see that when this information is given to David, it's going to be a splash all over media. So it is understandable why the government may want to adopt Abacha's method. gag the media, clamp on them, suppress them, because it's not as if information will not be in the air, but they want it to be the information that they themselves directs the narrative. It has to be something that is censored so that only what you want to hear will be heard. As you have been told, they wrote Arise. Why did the government agency bomb? Why did they choose to write Arise? Simply because Dele Fasoritimi, you know, the Dele guy, the Labour Party guy, just because of the interview they granted him day before yesterday, the one we played here. What was it he said there that was out of place? Just because somebody came to the media house to say, I have the letter they wrote. I have the letter they wrote to Arise TV. And they specifically mentioned Dele. They said that they featured him on 5th October. And that the statement he made there, you know, there's nothing they did not say about the statement that Dele made. But you people listening to us play that statement yesterday. We played that video yesterday here. If you have not watched it, go to our live session yesterday and you see it there. That statement, that was just a statement of fact. In fact, in that statement, Dele said that Nigeria has come to the point whereby if you say the truth, they say you're attacking the government. And whenever a government gets to the point whereby when you say the truth that is not comfortable with them, they say you're attacking them, that is fascism. You remember that was decree number 4, the same thing that Buhari used in 1984. Abacha came in 1993 and took on with that made even a man like Bola Tinubu to run out of Nigeria. And they formed Radio Kudirat that was broadcasting from outside Nigeria into Nigeria. Is it not shameful that the same people are trying to use the same method that they fought to fight us? Okay, do they want Nigerians to run out of Nigeria? Because when Abacha used that same method, they ran out. So are they trying to chase the media out of Nigeria, chase people out of Nigeria? But the truth of the matter is this. What David is saying here is weightier than you can imagine. Because really, number one, I can tell you something. The CIA is working all over the world. The CIA is on the street of Abuja, street of Port Harcourt, street of Lagos. The CIA may be let me tell you, if you think that CIA are ordinary Oyibo people, no. A CIA staff may be your classmates from your village who is hired and trained to work for them and to scoop information for them. Meaning that the CIA is listening to Nigerians. They are feeling the pulse of Nigerians. They know what happened on the day of election, and they are radioing information back home because the CIA is the investigative and intelligence unit of the USA that works outside the country. Just like NIA, National Intelligence Agency, is the one that works for Nigerian government outside the country. DSS works inside the country. In America, CIA works outside the country. Homeland Security works inside the country. In Britain, MI5 works inside the country and MI6 works outside the country. And so when it was so, according to David Hundein, that all of a sudden the American presidents started, becoming smart in not coming to attend the meeting, in not arranging for the meeting that he had planned to have with the head of ECOWAS and the president of Nigeria. There must have been a tip-off from CIA to Homeland Security to the Secret Service that now say, boss, you can't hang out with this guy. You can't hang out with this guy, because if you hang out with this guy and certain information that is going to come out comes out, they will say that both of you are allies and it might dent your political future. That is what is called something being toxic. Politicians don't like things that will dent their own future. They don't want anybody whom they can associate with, and that association will cost them a political leverage they are looking for. Now, if we listen again to some of the reasons why they are now rising against the media, let's listen to that Attorney General. I think he was making a point here that I want us to listen to him. I can't hear you. Can we listen to him? Is it possible?
Yeah, Doc, I was saying that this Attorney General, the former Attorney General, has got some key information. I think for me, his own analysis is very, very clear. His argument, I've not really seen anybody come out to put forward the kind of argument that this man argued. And they are very, very basic for everybody to understand. Because from the look of things, APC is trying to cover up. They just want to tell Nigerians that and to tell the entire world that he didn't fall. Did he attend? Yes, they say he attended. So why the argument? They said he was a student and all that. That's just what they don't even look into the key issues. So let's watch and listen to what
Was
this
a
Attorney General
GCE certificate.
sorry.
What was presented as the qualifying certificate for admission into Chicago State University was a GCE certificate purportedly obtained from Government College in 1970. And Government College Lagos, which is supposed to be the issuer of that same certificate, was not in existence up until 1974. And if we look at the subjects that are contained on the GCE certificate, it was physics, chemistry, and biology. There was no mathematics and there was no English. And the requirements for you to graduate from Chicago State University is that you must have a credit in English and in mathematics. So if you look at the deposition documents, particularly document 00.
No, I don't know. I really wanted to take these things step by step. So he made a very valid point here. Apart from saying that he graduated from a university that never existed in that year, he said he graduated 1970. He also submitted a certificate. I mean, subjects that he submitted were subjects that wouldn't have fetched him that admission. So what do you have to say? I think this is just a clear proof of forgery. Number one, that school wasn't existing. And number two, the subjects he mentioned in the results that he submitted to CSU couldn't have fetched him the course he studied. So what do you have to say about that? Just briefly so that we continue the flow.
Yeah. Now, he was going somewhere in his statement because, I mean, remember that he went for accounting. There is no university, no polytechnic, no college of education, no teaching institute that will give you admission to study, whether it is accounting education or accounting as a course, without maths. Accounting is all about mathematics and statistics. Accounting is not physics. And there is no maths in the GCE, and there is no English. And you are going to a country that is an English-speaking country, and you did not pass English. It is implausible that they will give him admission. And now, as you hear him talk more, they requested of him to write a makeup exams where he will get the English. And as you will hear, there was no record that he wrote. There was no record that finally he has written this English as a makeup course and he has passed it, which means somebody may actually not be interested in wasting his time, which might lead to the possibility of someone not actually graduating in the first place. Let me read this particular text someone sent me today, and then we continue. It says, there is an aspect of this deposition that no one has addressed, which is CSU said Tinubu never applied for any replacement certificate, nor has he ever applied for issuance of a certificate, nor has he ever been issued a certificate by the school. Now, the point is, If he has never been issued a certificate before going to CSU's deposition, where did he get the certificate he used to work at Mobile? Where did he get the certificate that he used to work at Mobile? All those affidavits by him since 1998 of loss of certificate due to Abacha's men's attack, which certificate did he actually lose? Since Abacha's era happened after the cancellation of June 12th election of 1993, which certificate did he use to contest as a senator in 1992? You know, as we talk this thing, no wonder they want to guard the media, because if they do not guard the media and allow the media to flow, more will keep on erupting. No matter how they try to cover the mouth of people with their lies, as long as they allow truth to run side by side the lies, truth will always outlive the lie. So what they want to do is to shut the mouth of truth, promote the mouth of lies. But we are not saying that they cannot continue to spin their lies. Just allow truth to remain by the side. And let's see which one will outlive each other. So you understand now why media is the target. Let's continue. Let's just follow this man. He's going somewhere.
And if you look at the subjects that are contained on the GCE certificate, it was physics, chemistry, and biology. There was no mathematics and there was no English. And the requirements for you to graduate from Chicago State University is that you must have a credit in English and in mathematics. So if you look at the deposition documents, particularly document 0017, document 0026, document 0027, document 0028, document 0029, and document 0032. They speak volume about the said Bola A. Tinubu, who was supposed to have been a student of Chicago State University, but who never qualified to be issued a certificate because he never graduated from the university. It is possible for a student to go to a school, because education is a process. Now, you get admitted, you undertake lectures, you write exams, you do for higher education, you do something like maybe a long essay, or a project, or a thesis, or a dissertation. Upon the completion of all of this, if you have passed every subject, then you're issued with a certificate evidencing the fact that you were a graduate of this university.
Do they issue certificates? Or because what I learned is that the certificate is always issued once. And
no, but
whatever
upon
you
graduation,
ask for,
upon graduation,
but
you
when
are issued with a certificate. Now, in 1979, no certificate was issued
at
to
that
any
time.
Bola A. Tinubu.
No certificate.
That's what the registrar says. That's what they said. No certificate was issued. And
But
if you look at the type of
registrar,
certificate...
Sorry, please,
yes.
let me ask this. The registrar admitted that Bola Tinubu attended the school.
Attendance is one thing. Graduating from the school and earning the certificate is another different thing altogether.
Can you pause that? Can you pause that?
Attendance is one thing. Graduation is another topic.
Can you pause that? I want to believe that our audience remember my story. I've said this kind of story, not what someone told me, but something that I personally allowed to happen around me with respect to the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. I enrolled for MBA. I paid for the school fees. I attended my lectures. I wrote the exams. I did all the seminars. I was supposed to now submit my project. And for some reasons, I abandoned it and traveled overseas and started my master's degree afresh. When you go that place, the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, in fact, some of my friends there till date didn't know that I did not graduate because we did everything together. We did everything together. We attended lectures together. We did seminars together. We did 10 papers together. I paid school fees. If you go to University of Nigeria today for the MBA class of my year, you are going to see that I came, attendance, everything, I ticked it. I have even with me here the receipt of my school fees payment. But the question is, can University of Nigeria and Nsukka say that they issued a certificate to me, MBA certificate? The answer is no. Even if I applied, they did not issue to me because I did not earn it, because one course, I did not submit it and I abandoned it. I came overseas, I did a new master's degree, finished that, moved on to my PhD. That is the narrative this man is trying to correct. They are trying to tell us that attendance is equal to graduation. It is not true.
It's not.
But let's finish. Let's listen to him. Let's listen to him.
It's really becoming clearer. I think it's really becoming clearer. So he gained admission. He went to the university. So we are not sure that he graduated.
Supposedly, everything is still sketchy. Supposedly, go ahead.
Education through the university or through that is a process. It's not an event. You can be admitted to ABU Zaria today for a 4-year program course. You can do up to the 3rd year. You can do even up to the 4th year. Now, if you have carryovers, you are required to go back and remedy those carryovers. Now, in this case, it was not even carryover per se within the university. There were deficiencies in the entry qualification which were dictated by the Chicago State University, which the student Bola A. Tinubu, whoever he was or she was directed to go back. If you look at that deposition document 0026, if you want, I can read exactly what document 0026 said. And I'll put it to say, you have not passed the English qualifying exam, and the credits that you have previously earned in composition will not be recorded on your transcript until you have passed the examination. You should enroll in English 222. A passing score on English qualifying examination has been required prior to admission into any major or professional program for students admitted into the university as of September 1975. That particular precondition, precedent, was not fulfilled by that candidate. So no certificate was issued. And that's exactly what the registrar said. So any correlation, any interpretation that is different from what is on the records of the proceedings in the Chicago court is not what is available on record that to be used as evidence in court. So that's the correct interpretation. That certificate wasn't issued. And if you look at, there are several other errors on the certificate, which I need not point out. These things have been in the public domain. But this particular one, it's important that this point is made, because it is not even the attendance of the university that article is before the presidential election petition, or was before the presidential election petition tribunal, or is appealing to the Supreme Court. Atiku is appealing to the Supreme Court on the basis of the provisions of Section 137, subsection 1J, and Section 134, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act. The earlier reference refers to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which says that no candidate shall be qualified to contest for election as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria if such a candidate has presented a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission. So it is not a question of attendance. Granted, Bola A. Tinubu attended Chicago State University. The question is the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, as it is, presented to INEC to contest for the 2023 general election, was it a valid certificate issued by the Chicago State University? The registrar has said no. We are not aware.
So where are the information that we are getting that the registrar gave it a pass that what Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted to INEC is actually coming from their school?
Ijoma, the depositions in court in Chicago are available everywhere.
Exactly.
These documents have been certified. They have been published. And so any other interpretation that is skewed to make a misrepresentation to the public, it's simply because the public itself is not paying attention.
Can I come in?
And
one thing I want to let Nigerians, can you hear me? Know is this. I said it yesterday. My hunch tells me the Supreme Court will not even near this document. They will not even near this thing coming from Atiku. they will meander and walk away and use technical terms to jam it. Because there is no way the Supreme Court will ever admit to look at that deposition document without removing the president. So they're going to use technicality to reject it, just like, is it Sawami or what? Samani, what is his name? Is that Samani?
Yeah.
Just like Samani's team did. Because what Samani's team did was touch not, near not, accept not. They gathered it, dumped it in their warehouse, and used English to write it off. Because if they had opened any of those evidence presented by P2B, it's either we are preparing for a new election now, or another president would have been sworn in. Because that deposition document, having been certified by the courts, is what Atiku is supposed to submit to the Supreme Court and say, here is the deposition, certified. Please, you people go ahead and interpret. And remember that we said yesterday that the Supreme Court has the discretion to admit a new evidence if it is that important. And they have even gone to the Supreme Court rules. Rule number 2, section 12, subsection 1, 2, 3, to mention the procedures to admitting new evidence after an appeal. But Nigerians, I feel our Supreme Court, I feel that they will not reject it upon submission. No. They will accept it. And
just
reserve
like
it
the Sabina did.
Yes, and reserve it for the judgment day, because if they reject it, there will be uproar. They will accept it, they will reserve it for the judgment day, and on the day of judgment, they will use English to massacre the thing and walk away. Knowing fully well, just like the chairman of INEC chairman knew that the moment he declares someone winner and issues certificate of return, now court will handle the rest. The Supreme Court will use the same method, knowing that the moment the rules, it's either rioting is going on or people are getting shot, they will say the court has ruled and the court has ruled. Whatever happens is no longer their business. Let's listen. I'm enjoying this man, honestly. I'm enjoying him. He's a son. No wonder he was an attorney
Reading
general.
exactly what the documents are. I refer you to this day this morning. This day this morning's headline was bold, that Chicago State University registrar denies knowledge of the certificate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, presented to INEC. So there is no confusion at all. In law, we say res ipsa loquitur. The facts are on the face of the document, and the fact speaks for themselves.
Okay, let's go back to that section 137 that
Yes.
you said. They are qualifications for you to run as a president.
Yes.
And if you go to section subsection 1A, it says subject to the provisions of 28 of this constitution, he has voluntarily acquired the citizen of a country, which is one of the qualifications.
Yes.
And except in such cases as may be prescribed by the National Assembly, he has made a declaration of allegiance to such other countries. That's a different matter.
That's a different issue.
This has to do with the issue of the certificate now.
The issue of the certificate,
137,
read
1J.
section 137, subsection 1J. It's there.
Hold on.
You have a copy of the Constitution.
Yes,
Read it.
that's where. Why I'm going to that
137,
is
1J.
simple. If what section 1J has said presented a first certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Exactly.
That is one reason that he may be disqualified.
Yes.
And that's what some persons are
That
calling
is
for
a
his
strict
disqualification.
liability offense.
I now give the floor to Vivat International.
Stop. Sorry, please.
Okay, yeah. So,
Okay.
look, I really want you to like itemize some of the takeaways from this very interview or analysis by this ex-Attorney General,
Number
because
one.
he has really dug deep You know, he has brought out, because some people are just saying that, yes, they've said he attended Chicago State University. Nobody is talking about, did he even graduate? He
Okay.
didn't. So please just give us some of the takeaways from this video. Just try to itemize them so that people will really get to
Number one,
get all the information.
the argument here is simple and straightforward. The GCE certificate, which was purported to have been issued in 1970, when the university that issued it, or the university it was issued, no, I'm sorry, the secondary school it was issued through, actually started 1974, was the first public forgery we can identify.
Good.
This is a standard certified forgery in the face of every Nigerian, and APC is not talking about it.
So, Doc, I have a question. It means that it's not only that he forged that of the CSU. The forgery has even begun long ago
I
before
said
now.
if we date back to the fact that this admission was 1977, it means that this is a character, a behavior, a pattern that had existed for at least 46 years. And whosoever is doing it is very, very, very conscious of what he's doing. You can imagine that time when Adobe was not existing. That time, all these graphic design tools were not existing. Somebody was able to manipulate Cambridge GCE certificate results that was passed through Government College Lagos that was not existing, 1970, and boldly walked over to a university in America, used it to gain admission. And according to this man, the admission could not be certified because there is a deficiency in subject, and a letter was written to write English 222 so that you can be normalized. There is nowhere showing that English 222 was written. And the deposition document was saying that there is nowhere whereby that particular certificate was issued. So, where is the certificate that you even said you lost? Nobody is calling that. Now, if we relate it to what David Hundeyin was also saying, FBI file that is coming, you now understand why why the media is now their next target. They want to shut down the media so that only their own narrative will run. Because if they're able to allow the truth to run side by side lies, the lies will exhaust themselves quickly and the truth will remain. Now they want to
Yeah, so guys, sorry for that glitch. I think doctor is having a problem with his internet. While we wait for him to come up, for our viewers who are just joining us, so we started with a clip from David Hunde, where he was explaining why the president of Nigeria was unable to meet with Joe Biden. That they had to tell Joe Biden that should he meet with the president of Nigeria, he might be risking his chances of being re-elected as the president of the United States of America because of the stains, around our president. So you can imagine that it has got to that point where they do no longer want their president to be associated with the president of Nigeria. Don't forget this thing happened even before Atiku was able to get these documents that he got. So before now, America was already seeing Nigeria as a dirty country. When Trump used the shithole countries, people were coming after him. But these are some of the things that make people to look at us as shithole country. So America does not want to associate itself with Nigeria because of the president we have currently. You can imagine the FBI telling the world that they are going to be releasing 2,500 pages of documents just on one person. They have a total of more than 70,000, but they promised David Hunde through his lawyer that they'll be releasing 2,500. Every month, they'll be feeding us with 500 pages. And they told David Hunde that these 2,500 are pages that will be relevant to what you are looking for, to the information you are seeking. So you can imagine what is going to be contained in those 2,500 pages that they will be releasing every month, 500 pages. So when we keep saying that, honestly, we need the right people, we need the right people, we need the right people. People just think it's all about tribalism, it's all about tribe, religion, and all that. No, this thing alone has gone far and wide and has ended up denting Nigeria's image. You know, it has dented our image. And that is why we keep lending our voices in telling this government that the time has come for them to be disqualified. I mean, the president and his vice. This is just all about disqualification. If you listen to this former attorney general, the last statement or the last section of his interview section was about submitting a forged certificate to INEC. That alone is enough to disqualify anybody who is vying for any position, especially such a sensitive position as that of the presidency. If you submit any forged document, and from what we have listened to this evening, you can see that the forgery did not just start some years back. It started long ago when he was still looking for admission. He gave them a GCE certificate containing some subjects, among which was no English, neither was there any mathematics. And he said he got it as a student of a school that never existed that year. So that is already the first forgery. For those APC people that will come out to say, CSU has come out to say, yes, he was our student. Yes, he was your student. Did he graduate? He never had maths. He never had English. And he was given a condition to try to retake some of these subjects, to make up his the subjects that he was supposed to have had before gaining admission. So they also told us that they never issued him certificate for the first time. They never gave him any certificate. Honestly, Nigerians, it's really time for us to tell ourselves the truth. Honestly, something is wrong somewhere, and we cannot afford to suffer this kind of scenario for the next 3.5 years. We just call on these people to honorably come out, apologize to Nigerians, and just let them be disqualified, because people keep saying if he should step down, who is going to take over and all that. But for me, I think the Supreme Court should be bold enough to disqualify the sitting president, because this forgery of a thing, I think it is just enough for somebody to be disqualified. It does not matter who it is. We shouldn't be looking at tribe or religion or it's our turn and all that. Don't forget that Buhari, who handed over to him, told the world that he never wanted to remove subsidies so that the APC will not lose election. It's all about self-interest. These people are just desperate to get into this position just for, I don't even know, is it for fame or the money that they say they do get in politics, or for what? Not even considering the consequences on the people, on the masses. Yeah, so guys, this is it. You can see it is very, very clear that this certificate, the Chicago State University's certificate that was submitted to INEC was forged. And not just that, even the one he submitted to the school while seeking for admission was equally forged. So you can imagine having such a person as your president is really going to affect us. The leaders of the world want to try to avoid him, just like what we said from the onset. He went to the United States, and there was news all over the places that he was going to meet with Joe Biden and all that, and we're waiting to see how that meeting is going to go, if there will be deals for Nigeria, business connection and all that, only for us to hear that he wasn't given that opportunity. And don't even forget that The CNN gave him an opportunity to come for an interview, to just come and clear the air on some of these issues, but he never honored that invitation. That tells you a lot. And that is why we keep saying, honestly, we must have clean people in such sensitive positions in Nigeria. And you can see, look at this image I have here. It says Tinubu borrows over 1.5 trillion from World Bank in 4 months. This is, we've not even started. When I saw this article, I was like, is it? They told us that they won't be borrowing. They will try to manage with what is available. But look, we were just talking about Buhari, that he borrowed and borrowed. I think Buhari left up to, is it close to 80 something trillion in debt? And then this government has already started in 4 months. And we don't know where and where this money went to. We don't. We don't. Is it that they are trying to make up for election expenses or what? Personally, I don't know. I must be sincere. I don't. But looking at reports like this, Nigerians, is very worrisome, considering the fact that we don't even have enough. We don't have enough. And when you borrow this kind of money, you don't even tell the citizens why you borrowed it and where you are channeling it to. And then if it finally yields, you can't come out to tell the people, okay, the money I borrowed was channeled in this direction. This is the yield that we've gotten from it. Peter Obi told Nigerians that he's going to be transparent. But one thing I know the APC for is, number one, they lie a lot. Number two, secrecy. Everything they do, they hardly come open. And any promise they come out to make, it's just a matter of time. You will get to know that they are just lying. So we can't afford to continue with this. We can't really afford to continue with this. So guys, these are some of the things happening in Nigeria today. So before now, I streamed this video. You could hear a journalist from the United States talking about the CSU. This university, some people have even come out to like say that the Chicago State University itself is not being straightforward. They are not being straightforward. It appears as if they are trying to paint, to wrap something, as in they are not coming out open. Even from the onset, before Atiku was able to get all the permits that was given to him by the court, this university, it appears they were trying to, cover up some things. Don't forget, at the time, their handles on Twitter was, whether they blocked it or they shut it up or whatever. They didn't want people to be bombarding them with questions and inquiries and all that. So from the look of things, even the transcript that we have now from the testimony that the registrar gave, you find out that some things are not really made clear. For me, I was even saying that Atiku's lawyer did not really hammer that man with the right questions. There were questions I expected him to have. He would have planned this question in a way that nobody would be asking extra question again. Everything would be clear. But now some people are saying, oh, did he attend? Did he not attend? Did he get the certificate? Did he not get the certificate? Because somehow, for me, that's questions, were not really that clear. But I want to really say that Atiku tried his best. At least it's now open for everybody to know that the certificate was forged, and even those that he used to secure this admission equally has problem. So no matter how they try to gag on the the media, because that is the next strategy they are using now, to gag on the media so that they don't allow people to come out and express their feelings, then you have to be careful on the kind of people you invite on your platform. And when they come, you have to tell them that you don't come here to speak against this person, you don't come here to say this. And all those censoring, that's what the method they are trying to use now. But we are living in a computer age. Internet is everywhere. People sit in their rooms and make their research and pour it out, pour out their findings out there. So I don't really think that strategy they are even using now is going to work. And we are just looking forward to building a better Nigeria. And for me, I think it's high time for the president to be disqualified, because we can't continue bearing this shame. is really shameful. Nigerians are already feeling the effect. We kept telling you guys about how Nigerians in the UK are being asked to retake exams that they took long ago because some set of people, it is being discovered that some group, a few number of them forged their certificate. And you know, in the United States, they said it is a Nigerian thing. So we don't have hardworking Nigerians again. We don't have Nigerians who believe in labor. That is just what it means, that it appears as if every Nigerian resorts to forgery. No. And that is why the Supreme Court has to see the need to disqualify the sitting president. Kenneth Okonkwo said it, that should they allow Tinubu to become the president or to remain as the president of Nigeria, it means that they should be held responsible for any bad image that Nigeria gets out there because they refuse to do the needful. We saw what happened at the tribunal level, and we don't want that to repeat itself again at the Supreme Court level. Let them come and look into this issue and tell Nigerians the truth and go by our constitution that has said that if anybody should be found to have forged any certificate that was submitted to INEC, it's not even a matter of whether he went to the university or not. This time, that particular certificate you gave to INEC, the school said they don't know anything about it, meaning it was forged. But the APC is coming to say, no, he did not forge, he did not forge. The school has renounced it and have denied being the source of that document. So why force it on Nigerians to believe that that document wasn't forged? So guys, this is where we are as a country. And it would be nice for each and every one of us to lend our voices. Let's come up to call on the Supreme Court to do the needful and also tell the world why the sitting president should be disqualified. So guys, this is all we'll be having. I think Dr. Etel had issues with his connection, his internet. Yeah, we hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Please do me a favor to like this video and also support us by subscribing to this channel and turning on the notification bell for future updates. I want to tell you that every day we try our best to bring up information that will be of value to you guys. So I really want to appreciate you for being a part of this section. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video. That way YouTube recommend it to more people for them to watch. And also give us your support. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell for future updates. Thank you as we end tonight's program at this point. God bless you and bye. Good night.